Tēnā rā koe te pika. Question to the Minister of Police. Does he accept the findings of the New Zealand Police and their understanding police delivery report that Māori men are stopped, tasered and prosecuted by the police and disproportionately higher rates than any other group as a result of structural racism?
The Honourable Costello.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Police, that was not the finding of the New Zealand Police.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker. Does he accept that this same structural racism impacts how the police enforce the gang legislation, as we have seen recently in Wellington?
Point of order, Speaker.
Point of order, the right honourable.
Mr Speaker, given the Minister's answer, I want to know whether or not, when that question was put in, there was any evidence to back it up, rather than just to make a claim which we are now about to find out is false.
Thank you. I'll just... is this it? This was what was supplied? Sorry? The Right Honourable Sir Peters makes a good point and asks a fair question. The question has been allowed. The question, but the answer has made it clear that that is not a police document. Is that correct?
If I can clarify, Mr Speaker, it was not the finding of the New Zealand Police. It was an independent panel that made findings, not the New Zealand Police that made the findings.
Okay, I now understand. Progress the point of order, Tamitha Paul.
So the report in question is the Understanding Police Delivery report that was conducted by an independent panel, however with the consent of the police, who opened up their processes and everything so that that panel could investigate it. So that point doesn't stand, because the police were fully involved in the Understanding Police Delivery report, and the police commissioner
I don't think that actually was the point. We don't want to carry on this too long. The Right Honourable Mr Peters.
Clear. The question reads, does he accept the findings of the New Zealand Police Force? That's what that question is caught by. No evidence to back it up, and the question should be ruled out.
Point of order, Debbie Packer.
There is a reliance when we come to the House that these questions have been qualified. There was nothing that came back to suggest that there was anything wrong with it. The report, again, to emphasise, is the Understanding Policing Delivery report. That is a report that is at question here. If there was a problem with the question, that should have been brought to our attention before we came to the House.
Yep.
Mr Speaker, there's nothing really to be done here. The point is the question's been accepted, it's on notice, it's been asked. The Minister disagrees that that is the finding of the report. That is an answer. That addresses the question. She says that is not what the report says. There's plenty of opportunity to investigate whether or not that's actually true, or various different things. The question should just proceed.
Speaking to the point of order, Mr Speaker.
Last call on this one.
Mr Speaker, I'm more than happy to answer the questions. I was just clarifying the position of the police.
Yeah, and it's just been pointed out to me, while I do intervene if there is controversy about a question at the time of its lodgement. That was not the case today, and this report is on the police website and has been there since March of this year. Debbie Nauru, Hana Rafiti Mapita.
Tēnā rā koe te pika. Supplementary. Does he accept that this same structure impacts how the police enforce the gang legislation, as we have seen recently in Wellington and Auckland, where rangatahi Māori have been profiled and arrested at gunpoint on suspicion of gang affiliations that were never proven?
Mr Speaker, what I will say that the UPD report was commissioned under the previous government by the former Commissioner. As stated, it was an independent panel and the findings of the report are not the police's. However, the authors of the report have said themselves the report is not indicative of structural racism or bias in the police. The research states that the findings show that the age of an offender, prior convictions, recent and long-term history of proceedings and gang membership were significant factors that influence the likelihood of prosecution. We have a world-class police force who do an outstanding job, and it is a disservice to them to have a narrative that suggests our police are anything but the consummate professionals they are. The 14% of New Zealand police that are themselves Māori, the enormous initiatives that invest in Māori across this motu, we continue to provide the services. What is ignored in this narrative is the 60% of victims who are themselves Māori. What is ignored in this House is the fact that Māori are twice as likely to be the victims of crime, and that is the narrative that member should be considering. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary, Mr. Speaker.
Just wait for the House to settle itself.
Supplementary. Does he think that it is appropriate for armed police to barricade the road and intimidate and harass whānau attending the tangi of a loved one to enforce the gang patch ban?
Mr. Speaker, I think that is a very wrong and flawed reflection of the response of police at Māori tangi. They work tirelessly to engage directly with the whānau, directly with the marae, directly with the kaumātua to ensure sensitivities are maintained. But what they will not ignore is the fact that the rest of the community need to be able to go about their business without the fear of intimidation, and they will continue to police in that manner.